Hello everyone, we're going to be going over oil pastel techniques for your self-portraits coming up. I'm just going to give a few tutorials of different mixing as well as different techniques as well. So to get started, you're going to need a piece of paper. You separate that into 12 squares. It doesn't have to be too even. Also, you'll need oil pastels, of course, along with some paper clips. We're going to go into making secondary colors. This is a review, so I have sped it up just a little bit. First, we're going to start making green using blue, and you'll be adding the yellow as well. Be careful not to make the blue too dark where you're blending, as the green will be a little bit hard to come through if you do that. Alrighty, so next up we'll be making purple. You'll first start off by adding your blue and then layering that on top with your red. I personally like deeper hues of purple, so I made sure to make my blue with very heavy strokes in order to give that effect. Okay, so now we're going to be making orange. Be very careful with the orange. The red will definitely overpower your yellow. So sometimes, depending on the color or hue of orange that you want, you definitely want to make sure you might lighten up on that red so that your orange can come through the yellow. So first we'll start off with strokes with light pressure. It's definitely almost like a feather type of stroke pattern that you'll be doing. This is I really like for different skin tones. This is much easier to blend the different colors with, but just start off with your blue strokes, very, very gentle, and then you'll go ahead and start adding your yellow on top of that. Be careful. I know I made a little bit of a mistake there, leaving my oil pastel a little dirty. Make sure you're cleaning that off as you're going with some paper towels. Next, we'll be doing strokes with heavier pressure. Same type of technique, but you're going to be pressing down much harder than you would with the light technique. It's a little bit more difficult to blend, so still make sure that when you are blending two different colors, you're going to want to lighten up just a tad where you're going to be blending those two different colors together to ensure that one color doesn't overpower the next. So next we'll be blending with a light technique. It's very similar to scumbling where you are doing very, very light strokes. I like to do my strokes in a more circular pattern when I'm blending rather than stroking, just to create a different effect. You're more than welcome to kind of play around with those as well. But the overall idea is to blend your colors a little bit more than just leaving them kind of naked as you would with the strokes. So of course the cousin once again of the light stroking is the heavy stroking. So we're going to be blending with a heavy pressure. To do that, all you need to do is just again go in that circular motion, but of course pressing down much harder. Once again, please be mindful, don't press down as hard with those areas that you'll be blending in the next color to avoid overpowering. So next we're going to move on to highlights. I just went ahead and did blue first because I think it's a neat color to be able to show the different variations of highlight and shadow. Again, if you want to just bring out that white, then you're more than welcome to do that. And you can keep adding the white to the part that you've added a highlight to, just to continue making it lighter as well. That's completely up to you as well, depending on what you are creating. So shadows with black is a little bit complicated. It's a little bit more difficult, as that black is very overpowering. So you really want to go as light as possible as you can as you shadow the black with the black. It's almost kind of like a light stroke pattern as well. Graffiti always offers a really fun variation to any painting, just because you can use almost any tool that you would like to add texture and design to your artwork. I always love doing it with clothes. Right now I'm using a safety pen, and you could just kind of go over it, do different patterns and different shapes. So when all of these techniques and blending are finished, you'll be left with a really awesome study guide that you can use as a reference as you all move forward in your self-portraits. Best of luck, and let me know if you have any questions.